Hey, good night, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday to each and every single one of you. Thanks for joining in tonight. Tonight we're gonna talk about actually a patron email had came in, and it's something that I've come across quite frequently. Things have certainly changed. My stance on buying collections these days have changed quite a bit. We're going to get into why that has changed quite a bit. But this message actually is from someone named Sammy. And I don't know if it's a he or she. Sounds like it could be either or. But Sammy asked, do you buy coin collections? I have something I need to get rid of. I could certainly use the extra money. I've had not so great luck in selling my coins. Can you help? And I get this quite often. It's either going to be revolving around attribution services for coins that they found. Is it an error? Is it a variety? If it is a variety, what exactly do they have? What am I looking for? Things like that. I get that all the time, and we address them as we get to them. And I mean we, because now we have a full panel of live coin Q&A guys that also helps out. But I still get my fair share of emails outside of the live stream folks. But this is a very good question, and I can't really speak for everyone. I guess the first thing that I should probably say is not only am I a numismatic educator on YouTube, okay, the best I can, because so some people have had some pretty rough things to say about coin people on YouTube. Either we're not as educated, or we pump things up more than it needs to be. I mean, it's not quite the case today, because the market is on fire, with or without YouTube coin people's help. But because of COVID and everything like that, there's a lot of people out of work. There are people that aren't working nearly as many hours at their workplace, because the work hours, their opening, closing hours at their establishment maybe has been cut down quite significantly. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons out there, and then for whatever happens, people are low on cash these days. So I've been getting quite a bit of the emails like, hey, do you buy coin collections? For the longest time, I was buying some of the smaller to medium collections. Some of the bigger collections that are over, say, like $10,000-$15,000, although I've purchased a few in that price range before. If the quality of the content is certainly warranted of that kind of dollar figure. A lot of the coins these days are relatively modern type coins, and I've purchased my fair share of that type of coins where I am completely flooded. There's little to no marketability, even if I did pay either gray sheet, okay, which I normally do for graded coins, or for some of the out of encapsulation graded coins, or ungraded coins rather, key dates, that sort of thing. The last coin purchase I did was about 6 months ago, and at that time I was I was trying to get out of the buy sell trade dealer part of it. And the problem with being a YouTuber, and I am a collector. I've been a collector for over 25 years, since the mid 90s. I think one of the biggest misconceptions that a lot of folks have of me, for me specifically, is that I'm just a coin collector, and then you have a collection you need to sell, you try and sell it to me, but your price is way up here. You're asking either full market retail value based off of what people are asking on eBay, or something equivalent to that. And I've had to tell people on a few occasions, the ones that were being extremely resistant and being very pushy, I'm a dealer too. Okay, a lot of collector coins I buy 20, 25, 30% behind gray sheet value. In most cases, I operate the same way that a local coin shop would operate. All right, and I always have, and I always will. The only perk is I don't have a brick and mortar. All right, so that's less overhead for me. So when you're consultating with a client, and usually I would say about 98% of the people that I have contacted are all brand new. I've never heard of them. We've never done business before, and it's a really fresh interaction. Okay, and then we kick it off really well. We talk about the channel. We talk about hey, I've been following you for 6 months or 2 months or 5 years or something along those lines of a small talk. So it's all gravy, and then we start talking about the coins. We're talking about, oh yeah, I have these rolls of, 2005 Lincoln cents. I got 15 rolls of that. I got all of these state quarters I've collected ever since the first year. I got these ones that are gold in color, and I got some of these silver commemorative, coins from 2010, and come to find out they're Franklin Mint, medals and that sort of thing. So this is kind of what I come across. I come across a lot of like low level modern type coins, stuff today that unless it was some sort of intrinsic value type of metal like silver or gold, or maybe even copper to a lesser extent, but silver, gold, platinum, palladium, and all of the PMs that people want. Okay, people want the physical stuff. I would say that a lot of the content out there is worth face value, and I've had to personally push people away, and there's really no good way to really turn someone off of purchasing a collection. I've done the whole, you don't want me to buy your collection because I pay next to nothing for it. I've done one of those lines before, and it's true. It's just so much modern stuff. I'm like, I don't get into this at a non-profit type. I'm not, one of those type of people. I want to make money, off of my purchases, and so does a lot of other people. So being able to designate exactly what your cost basis is, and then pumping in a little bit of kind of like profit to work around there, and then however much you sell it for. So there definitely has to be some profit somewhere there in the middle, in order for it to be worth it. Now, there is something to be said about quantity versus quality. Okay, I get a ton of collections that are just massive. We're talking just ridiculous, stupid amounts of modern coins. And it's common as dirt. I can't do anything with it. It's like, oh, I got a full album of Ike dollars, or I got a full album of the national park quarters, and it's like I can't do anything with it, and people get incredibly offended if you tell them like, I could pay you this amount of money. And it's like less than 50% of what their original kind of like idea and thought is when they went into a transaction, especially with me, because I've had a few people say, well, you're a YouTuber, and you shouldn't be buying at a dealer level. Like, why am I doing here? I'm like, well, I never gave that indication that I would pay full pop for every coin that comes across my desk. It just doesn't work out that way. I'm not in business to do that. I'm a businessman when it comes to coins. So, even someone like me, I have to watch, what the cost base is going to be, and then I have to figure out how I'm going to make money off of BU rolls of 2011 quarters. It's one of the hardest things to do. So, as a result, and I went through many years of just ground and pound and just, trying to, put lipstick on a pig and make it look attractive for a whole long time with a lot of new coins. And unless you attributed them to yourself, you found some pretty nice rare varieties in these newer coins. They're just not worth a whole lot outside of that. I've actually had to tell people, well, here are your options. Okay, you have some good stuff. However, okay, it's going to appeal to A, B, and C, and not with me, because I'm more of the older typeset collector. I like coins from the 1800s, 1700s. I deal with a lot of like the earlier type pieces. So, the newer stuff doesn't appeal to me as often anymore. I've kind of drifted away from that. So the last collection that I did buy was a bunch of, and this is kind of like the extent of it, I didn't go hard on this collection. I bought like a whole bunch of Buffalo nickels. There was a few dateless ones in there, but there was a great big bag, and I've kind of went through them and separated them out by like full date nickels and partial dates, and I separated out San Francisco's and Denver's and Philadelphia's, and then you kind of have like this little mishmash bag of just regular, no frills type coins. A lot of them have no dates. Some of them are acid treated, things of that nature. And there was probably like 600-700 coins. I bought this along with, I think there was a bag of about 1,200 Indian head cents I decided to go through. It was not a very good mix. A lot of the coins were either really low grade, AG, good, maybe occasional VG in there. But a lot of them were damaged. There was a lot of like environmental damage type coins. So for example, the Buffalo nickels, because of the volume means you get less for them. Okay. If you have to sell a volume of anything, where it's in quantity, you get less of it, right? It's like the bulk discount, if you ever heard of that. So with something like this, I ended up paying, I'd have to say it was like 20 cents a coin, which, the going market for like a full date Buffalo is like somewhere in that 50 to 75 cents for a common date. So I have an opportunity to make a few bucks on it, but I like to cherry pick these, and that's why I bought them. Same with the Indian head cents. I like looking for snow varieties and all the great stuff. So I bought these. I also bought a few rolls of silver dimes. I would say altogether, I probably spent maybe $300, somewhere around there, maybe a little bit more than that. But that's probably the least I've ever spent on a collection in quite some time. It's just with everything going on, people are kind of like scraping the bottom of the barrel to find anything that they could sell. There surely is quite a bit of like modern stuff, and none of the newer stuff appeals to me. My word of advice, if there are some of you out there that have just ungodly amounts of some of the modern material, I mean, there is a little bit of a market. I would say, if you had to do it and you want it to be as painless as possible, I would say your best bet is good old social media. Okay, go ahead and throw out a sale ad on any one of the coin buy sell trade groups on Facebook. That is something that is proven to be very, very worthwhile. There's virtually no cost to it. The only thing that's a cost you money is the transfer, the fee of getting the money to you, and then the shipping of all your coins. But this sort of thing right here, this is kind of like the maximum that I deal with today, unfortunately. But that just gives you an idea of how plentiful the newer stuff is out there, and the prices on them, because of just how much there is of those coins, they're not worth anything. Okay, you'll be lucky to get double face value in some instances. And I would say that if you're able to do that and do it in quantity with someone that really wants to pay the money for a modern lot, that's within the like 25 to 30 years, I would say then that's fine. But that is the reason why I don't buy big modern coin collections anymore. Is just, it's exhausting, it's tiring. Um, Someone will probably comment, well, you could use all the material to do more videos, but yeah, I don't want to do just videos on that sort of thing. And at the end of the day, I'll open up all these rolls that were once bank wrapped, and then what do I do with them? I'm gonna have to deposit them into the bank, and then the money that, let's say I paid face value. All right, my cost is going to be having to put gas in the car to truck down this stuff, and it's also going to take away some of my precious valuable time in coming up with more content that I could put on YouTube. So that's my main explanation when it comes to buying and selling these days. It's something that has grown to a whole new level since the holidays, and I think COVID is certainly wearing down on a lot of people. All right, a lot of people are either unable to get a job because there's so few opportunities out there, and it's really dragging down a lot of folks. And I really, truly sympathize with you, and I hope everything turns around. There might come a time where you're just gonna have to deposit them rolls or whatever the case may be. Those star notes that you've been saving up. If you haven't checked for any rarities, like print run wise, you might just want to go ahead and deposit that into the bank. And modern coins will continue to see flat growth. Unless it's kind of like one of those single, one-off type rarities like the V75 Silver Eagle and Gold Eagle. Those are something really special. But I would say that a lot of the program-based coinage, and what I mean by that is like the Presidential Dollar Series, the Statehood Series, the National Park, all these things that are being offered in quantity at face value. And some of them could be 15, 20 years old. I mean, they haven't appreciated that much because the mintages are so ungodly on those coins that there's just no justification in any price movement. Okay, not now, and not 25, 30, 50 years from now. Okay, people are going to look back, and then we're going to treat these statehood quarters the same way that we treat currently 1970s quarters, is that there is just so much of them, ladies and gentlemen, and the prices for full BU rolls are non-existent. Okay, not to the level that you and I expect them to be at after being 50 years old, right? Because 1971 is 50 years ago. It's kind of hard to comprehend, but we're talking 50 years ago. Yeah, U.S. coinage was out of the silver standard at that point. Okay, the last circulating silver coin was 1969, and then we are that's 52 years ago. So, anyways, I wanted to discuss and share my explanation and my stance on coin collecting purchases. I will still take a look at like much older coins, like pre-1930s, if they are good quality. All right. And then if you have something that's extraordinarily valuable, I will certainly point you in the right direction. I can't afford everything. I wish I could, but I wouldn't know where to put it. My wife's going to kill me if I buy any more big modern coin collections. And aside from that, it's so hard to move right now. A lot of it I've had to just take to the bank. Like I had, probably maybe 25,000 copper pennies, all, 1959 to 82 that I ended up taking to the bank. Because it's a space saver. Copper isn't worth what it used to be worth. It used to be $4 a pound back in 2008. I don't think it's quite there yet. And who knows if there's going to be a melting. I'm not sure. And I'm not about to wait. Life is too short and precious. But anyways, that's going to go ahead and do it. I want to thank you guys for tuning in this evening. The good old spiel, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell if you want some instant notifications. It's all good. So I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you think. Silver is hot right now. The physical form of silver is just not to be found as plentiful as it used to be. I'm losing my voice. I will be back first thing Saturday morning with a video for you, ladies and gentlemen. Coinaholics, what do we say? That's right. We're discovering together. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful night and enjoy your weekend if I don't see you. All right. Take care.